This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tariff relief. Canada and China reach a new deal, easing tensions on seafood trade. Wildfire response. A new report gives Annapolis County good marks in the wakes of last summer's Long Lake wildfire. And decked out, Halifax's Pokemon community set sights on a Toronto tournament.
Blustery conditions easing through Friday night. A quiet weekend overall, but all the focus Sunday night into Monday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Canada and China have reached a new landmark trade deal. The agreement will have a major impact on Canada's lobster fisheries, which have been dealing with a 25% tariff. And lobster is one of the key seafood exports here in Nova Scotia. The CBC's Brett Ruskin has more on what that means for the local industry.
Good news today for the seafood sector in Canada, including here on the East Coast, with Nova Scotia lobster suddenly becoming more competitive with the American variety of lobster. So since early last year, we saw that tariff introduced by the Chinese government, an additional 25% tariff on Canadian lobster heading to China. That was, again, a retaliation or a response to Canada bringing in tariffs on electric vehicles made in China and imported here to Canada. And so that made it a premium, essentially, for those Chinese buyers to purchase Canadian lobster compared to ones that may have been harvested off the coast of Maine and in the United States and sent overseas to China there. So we have seen a significant reduction or a significant drop in the interest, in the demand for Canadian lobster from Nova Scotia here. And so that's kind of hurt the industry over the last few months. Here is one seafood industry expert talking about the response to this new announcement.
Let's just take a look at lobster, for instance. I mean, you're looking at about $430 to $450 million a year that's actually exported out of Nova Scotia straight to China as a live product. Since these tariffs have come in place, from the available data, we've lost well over 25–30% of that export value just because of the barriers that were in place. What this actually means is you're going to see the value of the product begin to rise again. You'll see actually harvesters as well begin to experience a more beneficial work price.
So good news with the possibility of increased demand, perhaps increased prices at the wharf for that Nova Scotia lobster, with, again, this 25% additional tariff to be dropped from Canadian seafood heading overseas to China. That drop happening on March 1st. Brett Ruskin, CBC News, Halifax.
In a statement, Nova Scotia's Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture, Kent Smith, says the province welcomes the cautiously positive signals it sends for our seafood sector. Smith goes on to say China has long been a critical trading partner, and renewed cooperation could help unlock new export opportunities and strengthen the livelihoods of the workers and communities who depend on this sector. Premier Tim Houston says he is opposed to Nova Scotia Power's financial plan for retiring its coal plants. The company wants to use a tool called securitization to turn $700 million in assets into bonds that it would sell to investors. Nova Scotia Power needs the province to make a regulatory change before it can securitize the coal plants. The company has been expecting the province to make the change, but Houston's comments call into question whether it will go ahead. Nova Scotia Power says the arrangement would save ratepayers $85 million over the next 2 years. Houston says he finds the company's claim, quote, hard to believe. Nova Scotia Power would lose out on some potential earnings from the coal plants, but it would benefit from improved credit metrics. A 40-year-old North Grant man is dead after an ATV crash earlier this morning in Antigonish County. Police say the crash happened on Addington Forks Road in Addington Forks around 5:30. When they arrived, they found the driver dead near the vehicle. The investigation into the cause of the crash is ongoing. A new report says the municipality of Annapolis County's response to last summer's destructive Long Lake wildfire was very good overall, but there are areas for improvement. The wildfire started in August and continued to grow for weeks, destroying many structures and forcing hundreds of people to flee their homes. The CBC's Josh Hoffman reports.
The municipality of Annapolis County has released a report on what went well and what could have gone better during last summer's devastating Long Lake wildfire near West Dalhousie.
We think the response went very well. We had great relationships with our partners, with the province, that type of thing. And but again, like anything, there's things that we would look to do a little bit differently and improve upon if we're ever in that situation again.
The fire started in August and grew to more than 8,400 hectares in size, destroying 20 homes and forcing hundreds of people to evacuate. The report recommends more municipal staff be trained to backfill positions, as many people worked long days for several weeks in a row with little to no relief.
I mean, that's really tough. And again, with the incredibly dedicated staff that we have here and their commitment to the community, I mean, they didn't want to go home.
The report also says there could have been better collaboration between municipal and provincial officials, and multi-agency approval for communication slowed the release of information. But one provincial official responsible for making sure the latest information about the fire reached the proper channels disagrees.
I didn't see a lag in information getting out. I found it very quick and seamless. We're not, we've done this many times, and we realize the public wants information. We try to get out just as quick as we can.
The province will also be releasing their own report on the response to the Long Lake wildfire, but a spokesperson wouldn't say when that might be complete. The Annapolis County report was presented to Municipal Council this week. Deputy Warden Dustin Enslow said staff can spend hours and hours planning for an event like this, but you're not going to get everything right in the moment.
We have to realize that it was an ongoing situation that changed not even hour by hour, minute by minute. And overall, I feel that we accomplished something huge.
Warden Diane LeBlanc says the lessons learned will help the municipality be better prepared for any future emergency, but she hopes it won't be necessary. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
All right, we've got first look at the weather from Ryan. And Ryan, pretty blustery night out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Temperatures have been tumbling throughout the day. The winds have been kicking in, gusting 60, 70, 80 kilometers per hour. And so flurries blowing snow, and yes, snow squalls coming in from the Bay of Fundy, Cobequid Bay, blowing across the 101, the 102, the 103. It was a treacherous drive home for some folks, and now this is all pushing out towards the 104 and into Cape Breton. These flurries are going to be lingering through this evening, as well as these localized snow squalls, dropping a couple of centimeters of accumulation, and then this will all ease. This low will move out. Our next low getting set to roll in. This is what we're watching for Saturday night, and then a second low will be developing along the Atlantic coastline, and that's Sunday night into Monday. Let's time it out. So there are the blustery conditions easing. A pretty quiet day on Saturday overall. Some flurries into the afternoon, and then the potential for some accumulating snow Saturday evening into the overnight, a trace to as much as 5 centimeters. Looking at maybe the potential for some heavier pockets, Cape Breton Highlands, Cobequid Pass, but a change to showers overnight into Sunday morning, or at least drizzle. Sunday afternoon, showers mixing back to flurries, and then, yes, accumulating snowfall through the overnight and into Monday morning. And forecast models trending toward a solution that would indeed be a disruptive snowfall event, a widespread 10 to as much as 20 centimeters, maybe a bit more towards the north and east. We'll circle back and talk about this in more detail with your 7-day coming up in a few minutes, Amy.
All right, a lot to talk about. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, Colchester and Truro have agreed to a path forward for the Rath Eastlink Community Centre, but the fallout of the decision has left questions about future events at the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition Grounds in Bible Hill. The municipalities took issue with unauthorized contracts signed by the CEO of the community centre for the exhibition grounds. Those agreements are set to end this month, leaving exhibition ground tenants like the Colchester County 4-H barn in limbo.
If the grounds were shut off completely, we wouldn't have access to the barn. Even if we work out something where we could have access to the barn partially or from time to time, then we have to try to figure out how we're getting the water turned on and that sort of thing.
In a statement, Agriculture Minister Greg Morrow says the department is working to minimize negative impact at the provincially owned exhibition grounds. He says work is underway to find a new operations agreement for the site. Despite the uncertainty, planning continues for major events, including the provincial exhibition and the Nova Scotia Stampede. The Nova Scotia Community College has changed its program offerings after a significant drop in enrollment by international students. Changes to a work permit program by the Federal Immigration Department in 2024 resulted in a 50% drop in international students at the NSCC. The school has since reduced some programs that were popular with students, such as professional photography, business administration, and tourism. It has also boosted programs with high labor market needs, such as trades and nursing. Well, there is a big weekend of hockey ahead in Cape Breton. There are only 4 teams left at the U18 Women's World Hockey Championships in Sydney. Kyle Moore reports.
Finds McDonald on net. She picks the corner. Beautiful.
Canada scored 5 times in the first period Thursday night on their way to a convincing 12-0 win in the quarterfinals against Finland, and will now play Czechia in the semis on Saturday. The undefeated Canadians are enjoying the ride.
It's amazing. It's such an honor to wear the Maple Leaf on your jersey, and to be in Atlantic Canada, it's even better. We got great crowds and great fans coming out to support us, so it's awesome.
Miller on net, pulled the backhand, she scores!
Their cross-border rivals are also enjoying success on the ice. The undefeated Americans booked their ticket to the semifinals, and unless a major upset happens, the two countries will meet in the gold medal game on Sunday.
You know, we're seeing the growth of the sport. It's teams that are coming in from countries who have just started, pushing the growth of women and girls. And for as much as sometimes in Canada we think we're behind, we are actually one of the leaders in that sport right now. And it's great. There's countries that are here that only have 1,100 female players in the whole country. We have more than 1,100 women and girls playing in Nova Scotia.
Off the ice, volunteers are hard at work, and all indications are pointing towards a successful event with just days remaining.
Honestly, because we have a lot of great people who know what they're doing, have done many, many events. Our volunteer corps here is as good, or I would say I challenge them to be better than any other place. We just have it in us. We know what we're doing. Paul McDonald has been involved with bringing a number of world-class events to Cape Breton and says he's already looking at what's next. We've got some plans in the works, and I think we've got a major soccer event coming up in 2027. We've got national boxing, I think, in the works as well, and we're just trying to work out the details of that. So there's going to be a lot coming here in the next couple of years. The tournament will close on Sunday with a sold-out gold medal game. Resale tickets are going for more than $300 each. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
Some card players from Halifax are headed to Toronto this weekend to compete in a major tournament. But they won't be using your typical deck. Forget hearts and spades. These young players are competing in Pokemon trading card battles. Juliana Griot has the story.
Around 30 Halifax players are packing their decks for the Pokemon Trading Card Regional Tournament in Toronto this weekend. If they play their cards right, they could be invited to the 2026 Pokemon World Championship happening in California later this year. But first, they're getting together for one last practice session. The owner of the store they play in says he's seen the number of players in Halifax grow over the years. To him, this game is a way of building community.
I may not know you, you may not know me, but if we play and have a good time, there's a natural conversation, a dialogue that goes back and forth, and there's a shared community and acceptance saying, cool, this thing that we're excited for, I'm happy to talk with you about it, and it's a lot easier to make connections and friends.
Kyle Carter says most people who come into his shop have a special relationship with the game.
Pokemon is a popular Japanese franchise that started in 1996, first as a video game, then as trading cards, and later TV shows, movies, and dozens more video games. The most recent one came out just last year, so it's no surprise many of these players have been fans since they were little.
That's the case for 15-year-old Owen Fitzgerald, who's competing in Toronto. He started playing at 6 years old with his dad, and now plays with the friends he's made through the game.
Just something we've been doing together for a while, and it's just, I don't know, I just enjoy it a lot.
For some players, Toronto will be the first time competing on a big stage, and having peers from Halifax takes some pressure off.
It'll definitely be nice to have people that I'm familiar with there so that I'm not, completely alone at the tournament and no familiar faces.
Others have been to regionals before and say the support from the Halifax group makes the experience more enjoyable, even when matches don't go their way.
Player base here has just continued to grow and grow and grow, and it's like we all and especially last time when I went to Toronto, we were all supporting each other, we were all rooting for each other to do well.
Juliana Grillo, CBC News, Halifax.
And you're looking at a mural in Mulgrave Park in Halifax. Ryan is up next with a full weather forecast.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
And Ryan's back with his full weather forecast. Okay, weekend is here.
Yep.
Sounding pretty good. The end of the weekend, though, get your shovels out. 'Cause could be messy.
Shovel-worthy snow looking more and more likely now. This, again, if you've been watching throughout this week, you know I've been talking about this system.
It's been hard on you,
since
Ryan.
Monday, and the forecast models just would not nail it down. But the last 24 hours, seeing a trend kind of coming more in line with Nova Scotia staying in the snow zone of this one. And some significant snow on tap. We'll wait through till tomorrow and make sure that we can lock this down. But let's have a look first and foremost at the temperature trend today. Have a look. This is where we were at 5 a.m. And note the plus side temps, balmy even for this time of year. And then watch as we work our way throughout the day today. Those temps have just been tumbling from west to east below the freezing mark. Things have been freezing up and the winds have been kicking in, and it has been really blustery. And as I mentioned earlier, quite a drive home for many folks, especially in through the Annapolis Valley region, down toward the South Shore and the Tri-County area. You can see those are your current sustained winds. We talk about the gusts, gusting to 91 at the Beaver Island station. That one's obviously an exposed spot, but gusting to 70 at Greenwood and Westport, 61 at Yarmouth, 67 at Truro, and gusting 60 to 70 kilometers per hour along that North Shore as well. There's the radar. Those squalls have been intense coming in off the Bay of Fundy and working their way across central parts of the province. The 101, the 102, the 103, and the 104 all into the mix through this evening. We're looking at the potential for a couple of centimeters of accumulation. This will taper off mid to late evening from west to east, and then things will become quieter. There's our Saturday system that we're going to be keeping tabs on. And that front you see there, that's going to hit the coast. That's where our Sunday night system will spin up and develop. The cold air pushing back over the last 24 hours. Calgary down to 1, minus double digits in teens through the prairies, and Toronto at -3. St. John's 15 to 17 degrees across the metro area in St. John's, Newfoundland today. They're much like us, with the warm-up going to be cooling down as well. -4 to -8 and 9 overnight tonight, -7 to -8 in through Cape Breton. And again, those winds will ease, and that will ease the snow squall activity and the flurries and the blustery conditions. Winds southwest tomorrow. Note temperatures near the freezing mark in the northeast. We're warming up into the 3 and 4 range down toward the south and west. And so notably, as that next system does track in, and note the flurries coming to an end, even by midnight, we'll have a big improvement across the mainland. Cape Breton, conditions easing by Saturday morning. Those chilly start, quiet, and then we've got some flurries tracking in on the leading edge of that next system for Saturday afternoon across Colchester, Cumberland, the Annapolis Valley, the North Shore. Late day chance in through Cape Breton. Flurries mixed with showers here and through the south and west. Snowfall outlook from Saturday afternoon to Sunday morning. This is, again, this little wave that's coming through. A trace to 5 centimeters, most likely across northern areas. Cape Breton could see some 5 to 10 centimeter pockets, especially up towards the Cape Breton Highlands. And we could see a 5 to 10 centimeter swath, Cobequid Pass, and out towards Mount Tom as well. So this is that first wave. It moves out by Sunday morning. It's pretty quiet. We're looking at that southwest wind. Showers Sunday afternoon, mixing to flurries as temperatures drop as the system starts to move in. And Sunday, 3-4 degrees on the plus side for the most part. It is going to be quiet. And then let's run you through the timeline. So Sunday night, would be when we would see the bulk of the accumulation from this system. Lingering, though, into Monday morning. And so this would obviously, if this solution is correct, delays, cancellations would be likely Monday morning, and then that system would move out. Could see some mixing along the coast if that system is close enough tracking. Places like the South Shore, Metro, and into the Eastern Shore could see some mixing with this system. As I mentioned earlier, right now, looks like kind of a widespread 10 to 20 centimeters is looking most likely based on the forecast modeling, with some pockets potentially north of 20, especially out towards Cape Breton and the North Shore. Circle back for updates. I'm planning a web story at cbc.ca/Nova Scotia probably Sunday morning. And you can see that temperatures are going to be dropping as we work our way towards mid next week as the Arctic air pushes back in and winter says, hey, not quite done yet.
That's right. Well, I know a lot of kids, including yours, are going to have their fingers crossed Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, okay. Fingers and toes, no doubt.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Some potato farmers in PEI say this year could be slow for business. There are lots of potatoes on the market from other parts of North America. And it's another hit for the industry after a particularly rough summer. The CBC's Nancy Russell reports.
The potatoes are moving here at G. Visser and Sons, but not as fast as the company would like. There's a glut of potatoes in the North American market, and they are feeling it here in their sales.
They're a little bit slow. Unfortunately, we had a drought here, but
a lot of parts of North America had a bumper crop, so we kind of have a double whammy going on here.
70% of Visser's sales are usually to the United States.
Reports of best crops they've seen ever, so it's that's what we're up against.
Many PEI potato producers have fewer potatoes to sell this winter as a result of last summer's drought. Statistics Canada reported in December that yield and production were down on PEI, around 18% on average. The drought had other side effects. The potatoes are smaller and may not last as long in storage.
Our Canadian sales are down, our American sales are down, and our export sales are down as well. But when you look at it, so is our supply.
A lot of potatoes on the market is also pushing down prices, making it tough for growers trying to generate as much income as they can with a smaller crop.
The input costs have not changed. To grow a potato crop, it's extremely expensive. There's cash flow, there's operating costs, there's things that have to be taken care of.
They say the next couple of months will be critical.
Potatoes are something with an expiry date. It's not something that we can sit on and wait until things change. We have to be aware of what's going on around us and move them at the right time.
Even if they do sell all of their potatoes, 2025 will still be remembered by many in the industry as a tough year for PEI.
It will translate to a fairly significant reduction in overall revenue in the potato industry this year, so that's going to make it tough for farms.
PEI potato growers hope the warehouses continue to empty so they can focus on the 2026 planting season. Nancy Russell, CBC News, Orwell Cove.
Coming up, the Halifax Airport unveils its new international arrivals area, which centers on Mi'kmaq art and culture. Today we got a first look at the new international arrivals area at the Halifax airport. And for more on this, I'm joined by artist Alan Silboy and President and CEO of the airport, Joyce Carter. So first of all, you are one of the artists behind this. What is it like seeing Mi'kmaq art and culture represented so broadly?
Well, I think it's an incredible opportunity because this is a gateway to the world, and the whole world will be coming to Nova Scotia, and this will be the first place they see. So it's a place of friendship and welcoming. But I'm so glad that my art is part of this, and we'll have you'll be able to learn about the culture and also Stephen Francis, the floor he did here, it's just absolutely amazing. So it's a very powerful space. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and at the airport that put this all together.
And Joyce, what was the decision-making process behind this?
So when we looked at the airport facility, and as we do developments, we really do want to create a sense of place. And as was mentioned earlier today, we were renovating the top floor, which gave us the opportunity to renovate the arrivals area. Very similar to what Alan just said, is we really wanted to create this sense of arriving in Mi'kmaq. And if nothing else, for these people that are coming here, pique their curiosity as to their arriving here. They see the beautiful artwork. It creates this sense of space, but as well make them more curious to look on as to what our Indigenous culture is with the Mi'kmaq and explore that when they're in Nova Scotia. So we wanted to have a huge impact upon arrival. The artwork is an incredible part of that. So by Alan Silboy, the lovely drum work, and then the floor by Stephen Francis as well is doing exactly that. It's capturing the attention immediately to then spark the curiosity as people go about their way to look into Mi'kmaq culture and history more. So it's a big part of who we are, and we want to create that sense of place when you first arrive in Canada, in Nova Scotia, in Halifax.
And this represents a lifetime of your artwork. Any favorite pieces that stand out for you?
There's a lot of milestones here. We'll have a QR code that you can get into, and then you can see the meaning of each piece. And so you have a big history, a large history of my work. I've been an artist for 50 years, so this is an opportunity for a bigger sort of world to see Mi'kmaq and the different. If they haven't experienced it before, this is absolutely ultimate passageway.
But for you personally to see this, how do you feel?
Well, this is a goal of mine as an artist. Because out west, you see a lot of Indigenous artists for many years, but not here. But we're catching up, and we are doing it in a big way.
Now, overall, this project, around $11 million in funding from the province and the feds. Why is this, in your mind, a good use of taxpayer dollars?
So when we first proposed the project to the government to get support, we really put together the entire package in terms of the connections on the first floor, and then obviously the arrivals here. Halifax is an area where at times your projects aren't necessarily going to stand on their own, and so the importance of the government funding got it over the finish line for us. And so when we look at Halifax Stanfield, our contribution was around $7 million. If we were in our own having to contribute the full amount, the project might just not have met all of the requirements, and so absolutely required to get that funding. And we were so grateful that both the province and the feds saw that and supported us through this facility.
Now, there's been a big increase in direct flights, especially to Europe. Do you see this meeting that capacity or having more room to grow?
So this is meant to grow, and you're absolutely right to reference the increase in capacity. Our air carrier partners love the International Connections Facility. They were here with us today. They love this arrivals. The part that makes the connections easy helps their business case, but as well working with us from an Indigenous tourism perspective and looking at arriving in Nova Scotia and the region, it's a really important part for them as well. So we really do see the ability to grow grow. We had great service in 2025. You're going to see enhanced service in 2026, and it does provide for significant ability to increase our services going forward.
Now, the airport had announced more direct flights coming this spring. Next year, after that, do you think you'll have even more, or have we plateaued?
We definitely have not plateaued. So in the industry, if those flights are well utilized, we will continue to grow. So you think about some of the summer services now, as we can extend those into the fall and into the spring, and then our goal is to make them year round, and so have passengers come through this beautiful facility all year. So much more to come on expanding the timelines of those services, but as well introducing new services, in particular into the Europe market. We are so close. It's a real strategic advantage we have here in Mi'kma'ki is how close we are, and the aircraft that the carriers use allow us to do those nonstop flights into Europe. So that's a big market for us that we're going to continue to work on growing.
Any hints on what new ones might be coming?
I don't have any hints that I can share today, but yeah, just stay tuned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, tariff deal. More on Canada's agreement with China, including reaction from the auto sector. And the Federal Court of Appeal rules the Liberal government unreasonably invoked the Emergencies Act to clear convoy protests 4 years ago. Welcome back. As we told you earlier, a major breakthrough coming out of China. Prime Minister Mark Carney has made what he calls a landmark deal, one that sets the stage for a new trading relationship. The CBC's Ashley Burke is in Beijing with the details.
For the Right Honourable Mark Carney.
After a meeting with China's president, Mark Carney announcing a breakthrough.
Today, Canada and China have reached a preliminary but landmark trade agreement to remove trade barriers and reduce tariffs.
The Prime Minister telling business leaders it's the start of a new era with Beijing.
Canada now has set the goal of doubling our exports to China by the end of this decade.
Welcome.
Chinese President Xi Jinping says there's been a turnaround in relations. Carney says China is agreeing to drop tariffs on Canadian canola meal, lobster, crab, and peas, and lowering tariffs hitting Canadian canola seed to about 15% by March.
This change represents a significant drop from the current combined tariff levels of 84%.
But no movement on pork or canola oil. In return, Carney agreeing to verge from the United States, slashing a 100% tariff on up to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles entering Canada, a move that could upset Ontario's hard-hit auto sector.
We're returning to the levels of Chinese automobiles as a cap that we had 2 years ago. So that's less than 3% of the Canadian auto sectors.
After this tariff deal, Carney asked if he now sees China as a more predictable partner than the United States.
The one comparison I will give you with the United States, our relationship, this is no insight, is much more multifaceted, much deeper, much broader than it is with China. But yes, in terms of the way that our relationship has progressed in recent months with China, it is more predictable.
Less than a year ago, Carney called China the biggest threat to Canada's security. Now he says Canada faces many threats in the world, but it's his job to manage them. The Prime Minister also says that he stands up for human rights, but the government takes the world as it is, not how it wishes it could be. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Beijing.
The new agreement between Canada and China is sparking all sorts of reaction from the Canadian auto sector. The CBC's Nisha Patel has the details.
Canada's deal with China could shake up the country's auto sector and the companies that already do business here.
This issue is just, it's not helped the industry out. It's actually complicated it even further by adding one more piece of uncertainty into an already uncertain environment.
Ottawa will allow imports of 49,000 Chinese-made electric vehicles at a low tariff rate. While that's less than 3% of new vehicles sold, it makes up almost 19% of the market for new zero-emission vehicles.
Every single sale counts. It's much better to get that sale from a company that's manufacturing here, that's buying supplies here, and employing Canadians here.
The agreement is expected to drive new Chinese investments in Canada over the next 3 years, though the federal government provided few details.
We are putting at risk good union jobs and the entire auto sector in Canada by opening the floodgates to cars that are built with incredible subsidies and with very cheap labor in China.
For Chinese brands like BYD, it's an opportunity to break into the Canadian market. The company has made a name for itself with affordable pricing and innovative technology, and took the title of the world's largest EV seller in 2025.
Chinese electric cars are completely amazing, and frankly, almost better offerings than what we're getting here in North America.
Fresh competition could kickstart sales in Canada's sluggish EV market. Chinese-made EVs could ring up at less than $35,000, putting pressure on players like Tesla to cut prices. It's not clear when Chinese EVs like BYD might be available here. Automakers could ramp up production and ship models quickly, but they'll still need certification to make sure they meet Canadian safety standards. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney takes his hunt for alternative trade partners to China. BC's Premier David Eby is making his own sales pitch to one of the world's largest economies, India. But as the CBC's Salima Shivji reports, the trip is not without its challenges and critics.
Mumbai.
It's busy, bustling, growing. This country is now the world's 4th largest economy, according to Indian government data, a reality that Canadian leaders are fully aware of. BC Premier David Eby has been in the country since Monday, meeting with government officials as well as business leaders, trying to drum up trade and more interest in what BC has to offer. Lumber, for one, for the many construction projects that you see all over the streets of India, as well as interest in aluminum and other critical minerals like nickel, cobalt, and particularly copper, which is needed for India's clean energy push at large solar farms and for battery storage, holding the excess energy from those panels.
Without a doubt, there is huge interest in the mining activity in British Columbia. Those sort of raw materials for what's happening here around the green energy transition.
This intense trade focus is a big shift from the severely frayed diplomatic ties that we had seen over the last couple of years after Canada accused Indian government agents of being involved, allegedly, in the killing of a Sikh activist, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, on BC soil outside a Gurdwara there. The diplomatic relationship only slowly started to mend after Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney invited his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi to the G7 in Alberta last June. Now, months later, both countries are talking about signing a trade deal, a comprehensive economic partnership agreement.
I think there was probably an effort at the highest levels in Ottawa and Delhi, and I think that had its own momentum. But clearly the threats posed by Donald Trump to both economies have pushed both of them to push this faster, and we see that, of course, across the board.
He means other world leaders courting new trade partners, especially a country like India with growth at around 7%. Germany's chancellor was also here this week talking trade, and it looks like there could be an EU-India trade deal signed as early as the end of this month, with every country feeling the pressure from an aggressive Trump administration and looking for more stable alternatives. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Mumbai.
The Federal Court of Appeal ruled today that the Liberal government did not have reasonable grounds to invoke the Emergencies Act in 2022. At the time, it was a controversial move aimed at quelling convoy protests in Ottawa. The CBC's Olivia Stefanovich has more on the decision.
After a month of horns blaring and trucks blocking traffic in downtown Ottawa, former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau responded to the 2022 convoy protest in a big way.
The federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act,
authorizing the first ever use of extraordinary, albeit temporary, powers to end the blockade.
Hold the line!
Hold the line!
Hold that line! You must leave. You will be arrested.
Demonstrators assembled against the public health response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and new vaccination requirements for cross-border truckers were removed and arrested.
Freedom!
Some saw their bank accounts frozen.
Certainly, it was a sad day for Canadians when that happened.
Civil liberty groups launched a legal challenge.
Governments tend to panic and they overreact.
The federal court found Ottawa's use of special powers unreasonable, and now the Federal Court of Appeal has agreed.
I think the lesson here is that we need courts and the rule of law to keep our governments in check.
The appeals court found Cabinet didn't have reasonable grounds to believe a threat to national security existed and failed to exhaust all options before invoking the never-before-used measures.
What this means is that there is now some guidance and some clarity about how those powers to suspend people's civil liberties and fundamental freedoms, how those powers can be used.
Ottawa says it will take time to review the ruling before determining whether to seek an appeal at Canada's highest court.
We'll reserve judgment on the path forward until we have the opportunity to make a considered decision on that issue.
If the case does head to the Supreme Court of Canada, it would set a precedent on the use of the Emergencies Act and mark the final step in this legal battle that civil liberties groups say they're ready for. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
WestJet is canceling a new cabin configuration that would have added an extra row of seating on many of its aircraft. The reversal comes after passengers voiced their displeasure with less legroom. The airline will return to its prior seating standards for economy class cabins on recently configured aircraft and remove one row of seats. Executives say the decision was made following feedback from employees and customers amid a backlash to the tighter layout. After a long and painful slump in Canadian real estate sales in the country's biggest markets, many are hoping that prospects for the coming year are looking up. So, what's in store? Jenna Benchitrit has the story.
After a year of ups and downs for prospective homeowners, Canada's housing market still has challenges ahead.
Affordability is still going to be a constraint. Supply not being around in big numbers in many parts of the country is a constraint.
With interest rates down but economic anxiety high, the Canadian Real Estate Association still thinks national sales will pick up this year.
We're expecting a 5.1% increase in sales in 2026. So not a huge increase, but we could get a 10% increase in 1 month if a lot of people come off the sidelines.
But the picture differs across the country. Nationally, home prices kept steady, but home sales fell by 4.5% last month, year over year. Financial stress drummed up by the trade war and high unemployment, at least partly to blame for keeping some home buyers on the sidelines. Canada's largest markets taking big hits. In Toronto, homes changed hands at their lowest rate since 2000. This realtor says don't expect a major pickup.
And we're not going to see a massive rebound and buyers rushing back into the market because there is still so much uncertainty.
It's not just big cities. Smaller markets across southern Ontario and BC also struggled this year. Likely an adjustment after prices skyrocketed during the pandemic.
Because those price gains were more significant in those areas, the correction is also a bit more significant.
But some Canadian real estate markets thrived in December. Home prices in Quebec City shot up 17% year over year.
Quebec City is probably one of the harder markets across the country, some parts of Atlantic Canada, and still some parts of the prairies in Saskatchewan in particular, and Manitoba as well.
As for where the housing market goes next, Hogue says that depends on the economy. Analysts aren't expecting the Bank of Canada to move interest rates this year, but with a North American free trade renegotiation on the horizon, that could change. Jenna Benchitrit, CBC News, Toronto.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, so this week we've been talking about how hard the weather is on the skiers because we lost a lot of snow.
Yeah.
But
yeah, hope on the horizon for sure. Not just for Sunday night, but even Saturday night. Northern areas, places like Martok and Wentworth could pick up a little bit, which is good news. Have a look first at our viewer picture of the day, and we're going to zoom in. Halifax Harbor, and not sure we've had a pick from the ferry before.
Very nice. Yeah.
Ken with a fantastic pick. And yeah, that fog really making for a pretty
spooky, huh?
Almost looks like Gotham there for sure. Thanks to Ken for sharing Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Great snap there. Okay, so as we move through tonight, the onshore flurries, the blustery conditions are going to ease as that low departs. Pretty quiet for Saturday. Southwest winds, temperatures on the plus side for the most part. And then Saturday evening into the overnight, the potential for a trace to 5 centimeters of snow for northern areas. The Valley, Hants, Colchester, Cumberland, Pictou, Antigonish, and Cape Breton. Those are our best chances. Mixed to some showers overnight into Sunday morning. Sunday, again, fairly quiet. And then that next system rolls in, likely starting as showers Sunday afternoon. And then as temperatures drop, we're going to be seeing the mix over to flurries and then that accumulating snow. You can see this model a bit further offshore, and so not a lot of mixing along the Atlantic coastline. The Canadian model really hugs the coast and so does keep totals a little bit lower right along the Atlantic coastline, and then bumps up the totals higher for the Valley and into Cumberland County, higher than what this model here is showing. So widespread 10 to 20, but lots of details to iron out this weekend. cbc.ca/Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I know you're going to be busy. Well, police in Florida had their hands full trying to capture a very stubborn emu, and the entire operation captured on an officer's body camera.
This way. Keep going. This way. Yeah, some big old talons. Come here. Come on. Come on. Is this where you live? I'll be honest with you, I've never handcuffed an emu before.
A deputy was finally able to secure the runaway bird using a lasso and handcuffs. Neither he nor the emu were injured during the hot pursuit.
Authorities say the bird was reunited with its owners and returned home safely.
Happy ending for that. All right, that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great weekend.